Good Super Bowl Sunday morning to you, friends. Carl coming to you here from Tennessee. I want to spend 8 or 10 or 12 minutes doing a little bit of training. I want to entitle this Save for a Rainy Day. We've had some rains these last few days here in Tennessee, but saving for a rainy day. Friends, as an investment advisor for many years, I've always encouraged folks to save for a rainy day, pay yourself first, and just stockpile some funds for later in life. So we're going to discuss that today. As an advisor, I always followed the smart money. So when Warren Buffett was buying Apple stock, I'd pick up the phone and call my clients and say, Buffett's buying Apple. We should pick up a few shares of Apple. So look here on the left. Central banks last year were purchasing gold at a record pace, which means probably this year it will be even a new record. Heck, even Costco's is selling gold bars, 1 ounce gold bars in their stores and online. Last quarter, last fall was the very first time they sold gold bars, bullion bars, and they did over $100 million in sales in just 3 short months. I would say let's follow the smart money, friends. So with that, let's just carry forward. And so this doesn't look like smart money to me when you have a high left chart going down to a low right. Friends, this is not my stats. This is the U.S. Labor Bureau and Statistics stats. As you can see here, a dollar in 1913 bought a dollar worth of goods and services, and then 100 years later bought just 5 cents. Now take a peek at 1971 when Nixon actually took us off the gold standard. We were backed by gold up until that point. And so when he took us off the gold standard, we then have a currency that is really just backed by trust and faith in the government, known as fiat currency. Friends, if you do a little bit of history and searching, you'll find that any country, well, the average of most countries that went solely to fiat currency, they collapsed inside of 40 to 45 years. Friends, we're at roughly 52 years of fiat currency. And you know, I believe at some point we may go back to a gold backed currency, which we really should. But so here's a little better looking chart. This is what silver has done over the last 20 years. You can see $4.72 in November of 2000, and then 14.45 in 2018. Today, silver is roughly $23 on a spot price. Much better looking chart, as is gold. 2003, you can see close to $400. 2018, close to 1,300, and today it's around $2,050. Now, this one really stumped me as a stock market options trader for years. Gold over 50 years has even outpaced the S&P 500. That's impressive to me, being a stock and options trader. So this is not to encourage you to take every single penny you have and move it into gold and silver. However, this is to encourage you to save for a rainy day with us and dollar cost average and start adding and building a position in the precious metals market as it makes good financial sense for any portfolio. So diversification is key. So here's a little illustration. If in 2004, when gold was approximately 400 an ounce at some point in that year, in our home vault, we put an ounce of gold, an ounce of silver, and four $100 bills in that vault. What would we be looking at today? Well, on the left, you can see the buying power of that $400. Remember that first chart, how it was falling $400, it would take $649 to buy the same goods and services today. Oh, if we reverse that and say that the buying power of our $400 is roughly 200. Now, unless those four $100 bills was having a little bit of hanky panky in your home vault, I doubt that they grew to $649. There's still those four $100 bills, which are buying approximately $200 today. Now, on the right, which will be the star of the show, as we see a little bit later, these what we will be purchasing on a monthly basis with this new launching company, which we're so excited about, is this Silver Eagle, the most traded coin on planet Earth, but the MS70, also known as numismatic. That's a graded coin, no Mars, much more of a collectible coin. 2003, that coin cost probably $20 or thereabouts. It's $429 today. That's appreciation of value. So to put it a little bit more into perspective of the 400 being buying approximately 200 of goods and services. Remember Kevin McAllister about 30 years ago with Home Alone? He went to the store and got some groceries at $19.83. Cost over 3 times that today at $72, friends. Inflation is just eating away at our buying power. So, how about this illustration for us? Take $400 in 2003 for an ounce of gold and the Silver Eagle as well. Now, here's your disclaimer, friends. Past results do not dictate future returns, but we're just basing this on history, and we have a whole lot of history with gold and silver of approximately 5,000 years to work off of. So it has appreciated over time. And by the way, to make any profits in any asset class more profitable, more probable of profit, time is the thing that we need on our side. We must have. This isn't a 1 to 2 month play. This isn't a 1 to 2 year play. This is a set it, forget it, as one of my good friends says, and dollar cost average month after month, year after year, and you will be richly rewarded in the future. So the dollar, those 4 $100 bills, buy about $200 worth of goods and services today. Now in 2003, the silver was around $6.50 to $7 on the spot price, so it cost about $8 to buy a Silver Eagle coin. We would have been able to buy 50 of those. That today at approximately $50 for those from 2003 is worth about $2,500. We already mentioned that the ounce of gold that was 400 is just under $2,100 today. That's an amazing profit, more than tenfold that $200 of buying power of those four $100 bills. And then the S&P 500, which has been my go-to for almost 30 years now. Oh, well, actually over 30 years. That $400 would have had a nice return at 1,800. It still didn't even outpace the Silver Eagles, nor did it outpace the gold. And the star of the show, as I mentioned, MS70s. So we're going to be spending about $75 a month. That's about 2.5 times a Silver Eagle itself today. So I wanted to use the same kind of parameters and be fair. So let's just say we spent $20 for that MS70 back in 2003. We would have been able to buy 20 of them at that price of $439. Today we would have $8,780 in value, friends. So which would you choose? 200 of buying power, 2,500, 2,100, 1,800, or the star of the show, almost 8,800? I would take the latter of those. So I've always said, we can spend our way to staying broke, or we can save our way to wealth. So I know we like the shiny cars, the big mansions, the Rolexes, and the yachts, and the Tiffany's fine jewelry. Friends, I'm going to ask you to refrain from some of that. Uh, I remember, buying many of the Robert Graham shirts and having to have the most expensive shirts to get on stage, and that's just not a need. So let's tone that back a little bit. However, we can save our way to wealth. So I want to encourage you, as I've encouraged my daughters in educating them on investing and saving for a rainy day. To you ladies, this isn't gone money. It's not gone bye bye. It's, however, in just a different purse, different wallet, different a bank account, if you will. It's just in a different place. So it's not gone forever and ever. I just want to share that with you. And for the men, as you can see here, it's just a different wallet, different pocket. It's not spent money, it is saved money in precious metals. And we'll discuss that right now. So, as we're talking about saving for a rainy day, friends, we do know the storms are coming at some point. So, based on today's price of MS70, that we'll be paying $75 a month, I'm going to encourage you to try and buy a couple of those per month if you can. $150 for an IRA, or $150 to save for a rainy day is not too much to ask. But Carl, I don't have any. Well, if you don't even have that potentially, then we're going to ask you to join us and let us show you how we can share this with some friends and loved ones and possibly get you earning more than that, to where your precious metals would even be for free, basically. So, what would 20 years look like at the 429 price of 2003 for the MS70? 24 coins purchased for that year for 20 years. Actually, we buy 24 coins per year. If we bought two a month for 20 years, we'd buy 480 of those MS70s and reside that in the vault. $75 per coin for those 20 years. We would have saved $36,000, not spent. Our nest egg would be 206,000 at this point. So, just one final question for you, friends. Do you think silver or gold and silver is going to be worth more in the future, or do you think it's going to be less? Remember, we may end up going back to the gold standard and such. So, I believe with things going on all around us in the world, I believe, and I've heard many prognosticators um, mention that we could have a much higher priced gold and a much higher priced silver. So, with that, friends, I am going to end our recording and just tell you to have a super fantastic day. And I love you in the Lord, and we'll see you soon.